better again. Yo, let me see, get my shit right. Yeah. I know what girls want. I know what they like. I so no, but let me see. Yes, y'all. Yeah, y'all. A freaky freak, y'all. I like that, y'all. Okay, a quick viewer's note. I'm making this video because I gotta expose this bullshit right here. Right? So I was watching a video on the origins of King George, right? All the King Georges, really just King George, period. King George III, right? And I found a brother who had a source, right, that showed King George III, and it's a book by by J.C. Long, a biography on King George III. So we all know King George III. That's King George III of England, who was responsible for waging the American Revolutionary War against George Washington. So you know what I'm saying, when you learn in traditional school that um, the Americans, the colonial Americans, were fighting for independence. Oh, not, I don't mean Revolutionary War. I meant the War of Independence. Sorry, forgive me for that. But when you find out that these niggas was fighting against the King of England, right, who was taxing them, that's King George III. So, um, as you can see, the title and whatever, right, the series is, I actually have discovered, I've heard this before, but I've discovered that the a lot or majority of colonial, or what has been alleged and what I've seen, is the majority of colonial Americans, and I've heard this before, but now I'm seeing literary sources, the majority of colonial Americans, along with the monarchs of England, were still so-called black at that time, right? And so the trick word, of course, is the word ready, and I got a video series coming on that. But this is just a quick little, you know what I'm saying, quick little thing just to show y'all some shit. Show y'all that, you know, these are the ways. This is why we feel how we feel, you know what I'm saying, about some of the things we say. These are the ways they try to hide things and cover things up. So um let's get into it. So this is the source. It tells you King George, right? And it tells you that his father is of a Moorish appearance, the father of King George III, being who? King George II. So it tells you that King George III, if you check multiple sources, it'll tell you he's ready, which that's a whole nother thing. But let me just show you, right? Because what I'm doing, I don't want to deal, you know, the way our people are and how doubtful we are in the state that we're in. I don't want to deal with sources that are questionable. You know what I'm saying? I want to hit you with the, you know, I want to do it from my perspective of how I know these things and how. So we're going to start with things that confirm the thesis and go outward. You know what I'm saying? So fuck Ruddy and things like that, because there's a lot of academic, quote unquote, academic debate. It's really not no academic debate. It's really, you know, once you start looking at the shit yourself, you'll start seeing what kind of real debate it is. But just being objective, because we want to provide objectivity so that even an outsider, right? Let's just say our theories are wrong, right? This is the evidence presented. This is how it is. This is how it goes. Why is this saying, once we line up the original evidence of what we have, we can get an objective conclusion, because this is about objectivity. And then you get into where you start explaining your specific theories and things like that. So I want to deal with this, right? We got a lot of sources that claim he's ruddy, right? I don't want ready. You know what I'm saying? Even though I have an opinion of what ready is and we have evidence of what ready is, there still can be some, you know what I'm saying? I want to eliminate all confusion. You know what I'm saying? All confusion and all whatever, right? I just want to give you irrefutable, undeniable shit that's just like, oh, okay. You know what I'm saying? That's how I want to do it with the shit. So King George, right? And I'm looking as, I've been looking for this one. You got terms like sanguine and ruddy, right? Cool, whatever, right? Could be debated, whatever, right? So I found a source through this video, through this brother, his page, from another video from another brother that I was on a forum, on a specific forum with. And so he had a lot of shit, and he linked the brothers that watched his video to this video. And we don't get into this dude and his style, but the sources, we want to find sources, right? So when we do all of these things, we want to find firsthand sources. You know what I'm saying? People, the not reprint, not even necessarily reprints, which we're going to run into a lot of reprints, but we're just going to deal with as close to the source as possible, as close to firsthand sources, right? So we have a biography, right? And I think it's actually a secondary source of somebody writing something based on something that was written on at the time. You know what I'm saying? So, but nevermore, the source is George III, a biography by J.C. Long, right? So let me show y'all this bullshit. So all one should have to do, right, is just Google the source, right? And you should be able to have access to it, right? Wrong. So here we go. We're gonna Google it. So we'll just type the title in. Hold on, let me oh, I'm not even sharing my screen. Hold on, let me share my screen. So sorry about all that. This is let me move all this. This is everything I was explaining here. So here goes the original source, George III. Here goes the brother's channel, and he lists his sources. So we want to find something like this. We want to find the actual book so that we can confirm ourselves, and we can order the books. Well, we can order the books, and B, check up on any digital sources and check and see if there's been any alterations and things like that. We just want to compile as much empirical evidence. We want to get as close. We want to get actual sources. You know what I'm saying? We don't want to rely on videos and screenshots, right? Because one can allege, and this could be very true, things can be changed and digitally altered. So we want to deal with real books, because let's say you're showing an older person, how do they know that these things are real? Which we could always go into that, get into a series and break things down to how to confirm if things are real or not, because that's pretty much a straw man or a red herring, because at the end of the day, most learning you do nowadays is happening digitally. But we could do something to connect the older people with how to ascertain that this information is valid, because once you show somebody this, it's just like, yeah, I want to run with it. But if you don't know something for yourself, You know, you're not going to be. It's you don't know it, so you can. If you're being true, you don't want to just run with this information. Everything would just be alleged at that point. So here we go, George III, right? Biography by J.C. Long. We have it here, page 66, 67. So what I usually do, right? What I would do, I would find a source. I would watch the video. Once they say whatever, I had a video, and then when I hear something, I'm like, okay. So he did a lot of sanguine and this and that, which that's going to require a lot more resource and in depth because I don't know this dude from such and such. So I want to be objective. We don't want to rely on this man as a source, right? Because if the truth is the truth, we should be able to find it ourselves. And I want to show people how to find these things themselves. And really, we're going to try objectively and go on this journey to see if the source even is, if it does exist. Because a lot of time I follow sources. I got to the original source and it was taken out of context. And so that we don't want shit like that because that's going to um, delegitimize our research efforts and our any of our opinions or outlooks, our perspective, and so our claims. So um and when I say claims, I just mean a claim to be going towards the truth. That's just going to go against our credibility. Let's just say that it's going to hurt your credibility, if you're trying to share these things and get these things out or correct the narrative and just getting closer to the truth. Let's say these things aren't true. Let's say we don't know certain things. Well, what do we know? So we know for a fact that they're not, we know what they're one thing that we do know and that we're trying to go against is the stuff that we learned was nothing like this, or maybe it was, maybe it wasn't. And that's just what it's about, what we're seeing. I just want to stay objective. I don't want to state too much of my personal beliefs without substantiating my shit with empirical data, so, and sources. So, because I don't want nobody thinking I made this up or this is my personal agenda. You know what I'm saying? Or simply my personal agenda, because it definitely is a personal agenda, but it's not simply a personal agenda. So and one can just decide. So we should be able to copy this, right? Search it, and so we got Goodreads, right? Want to read? Yeah, I want to read. So you got to sign up for an account to read it. Okay, cool, whatever. eBay, they have one on eBay. You can get it for 27. So we like to get the hardcover, soft cover, and everything. We want to have as many copies as possible, right? Because we want to be able to show these things physically, and also we want to have the physical and the digital, because if something happens to either one, we have possession of it. And a lot of times these things are altered or changed or deleted, so we want to have um possession of these things. You know what I'm saying? So you can get on eBay. They have book reviews. This book is just hard to find. You know what I'm saying? Books. So you can get the hardcover and the physical copy. You know what I mean? Signed. Okay, cool. Whatever you say. Well, we're gonna get this book. Well, I'm gonna show you why we're gonna get this book, and I'm gonna show you. This is how I decide. What books I'm necessarily going to get and not get. You know what I'm saying? I gotta know. I gotta get the book. I gotta like it because I got points that I want to prove to the people around me. I got my own perspective, even though a lot of these books are useful. So this is what I meant. You look for PDF. So a lot of times, right, what I'll do instead of spending the money on a book and getting it, what if it doesn't say? I want to get the PDF first, right, to make sure that it says what it says. So if you look though, there is no downloadable PDF. So, okay, cool, whatever. A lot of times you can find these PDFs, people upload them. And I found this site, or it's not a site I found, but archive.com, Internet Archive, they have a lot of books and stuff. So check this out. you can borrow the book, but you can only borrow it for an hour. So obviously I borrowed it at 5:53, right? But why do they have a copy of a book digitally that only one person can check out at once and only for an hour? Why isn't this information accessible? So it's free to download, it's free to access. I mean, it's free to access. It's not, you're not even allowed to download it. You know what I mean? Um, it tells you a 14-day loan required to access EPUB or PDF files. I have no idea what that means. Then if you're somebody who for print disabled users or whatever, like if you can't hear or something, I don't know what it is, you can submit a form to get it downloaded. But even that you have to submit an actual form. You know, look how crazy they make this shit. Oh well, I'm not gonna go to that because it's gonna take away my. But look, I have access to the book, right? And then so I can go through the book, and so this is just the point I wanted to make, right? Let's see, or let's not even say that. This is just what I want to assert. Um, let's see what's in this book because we got to understand. I want to show you guys why the fuck a book can only be rented for an hour. A book like this, right? You would look when I show you. Watch, just watch. So you know what I'm saying? We're going through the book. You know, this is an actual book and it's scanned a certain way. You know, I'd rather they let a nigga pay to buy the book. You know what I mean? But let's go to page 66, 67, right? That's where our um our reference is. So let's zoom in, right? Because we want to get the description. And even you can go to table of contents, it'll tell you the physical, it'll tell you the image of King George. So I remember it was on this side. This is how you know I read it already, but I accessed it. So instead of me taking a screenshot and stuff, like I now with this technology, right, or this setup, right, or this construct, I don't have to rely on a screenshot where somebody says, "Oh, how do I know that this says?" No, I just showed you how I access this. This is on the actual archive.com. It's the author. This is the actual book. We go to the beginning. We could do the ISBN. You know, we could do all that shit. You know what I'm saying? All in one source. But I just wanted to get all of this at once because I actually rented this book because I was going to show my mom something, but she was on the phone. So now I got to hurry up and show what the fuck I'm going to show. Or I can rent it again. I can keep renting it. I can return it. But let's just say I got this book. Millie can't access it at the same time as I'm accessing it, as if it's just one copy. So what type of shit is that? Why the, you know what I'm saying? Look at this, man. Y'all will see. We're gonna see. We're going to see what type of games they play. You know what I'm saying? In my opinion, allegedly, we're gonna see what kind of game. Well, this is not allegedly, but allegedly, it's a game. In my opinion, right? The body of George II had been lying in state throughout all these proceedings. Um, right? George II had been a cipher and the government, da da da, right? So it's gonna get into the appearance of King George III. King George III reigned for so many years, and we'll make a separate video. This will just be an excerpt, right? This is going to be just a segment of me doing this, showing this, and then being able to include this in my video while I have my rental. I always go back and rent it, but this is just I wanted my initial reaction. I wanted to do a video about basically what the fuck I just witnessed. You know what I'm saying? And so we're just gonna kill two birds with one stone. George III reigned for so many years that the portrait and cartoon, and then this is a good style of when I'm finding things and doing shit like this or watching videos. This is gonna be the new just discovery setup. You know what I'm saying? Of just talking versus the other format where it's like examination of actual sources and and more in depth and connecting things. But this is just if I initially find something and I want to talk and add my commentary, or I'm discovering something or just adding something and I'm doing a lot of talking and stopping, I'll just do it with this format with the shotgun and shit. But other videos will be on the condenser, but and it'll be more in depth and it'll be more laid back. But these are kind of going to be maybe a lot more entertaining because these are going to be like more like live reaction type joints. You know what I'm saying? Live looking. So all pre-produced, but still, you get what I'm saying. But George reigned for so many years that the portraits and cartoons of his middle age have made the major impression. So it's easier for me to speak on this way, read, and just give an overview explanation, right? So it tells us here, he reigned for so many years that the portraits and cartoons of his middle age have made the major impression that he was a fat man, stolid, heavy face, gross. So there are many portraits out there and cartoons that have depicted him, right? But this is somebody who saw him. I'm guessing. We'll confirm that later on in the video. But yet, when he ascended the throne, he was a handsome youth of 22. So he ascended the throne at 22. He had the prominent blue eyes, long nose, and thick lips of the earlier Georges. But he was tall and well built. So I know you're like, the average motherfucker's like, okay, blue eyes. What kind of nigga got blue eyes? But pay attention, right? This is just a lead. This is just the evidence. Even me, I'm like, what the fuck do they mean he got blue eyes? Right? That sounds like a white man. I thought niggas told me, we see long nose and thick lips. Even though we know black people can have blue eyes, I'm not necessarily sure what this means. So we'll have to go into this. But here's what we do know. This is what catches my eye, and this is why I think we got to run it on this book because all right, cool. Blue eyes, long nose, thick lips. That's whatever, right? Whereas, and we know he was tall and well built. Whereas his father, Frederick, right? So his father, Frederick. Let's go get George III. Right? His father was Frederick, right? The Prince of Wales. And so even in my shit, right? When I'm going down the line, right? Because it tells you his predecessor was George II, but that's actually his grandfather. So that's something. See, that's why we do these. That's something I have to denote when I do these things because I'm thinking, okay, we go George the first and George the second. No, you know what I'm saying? It's not about who your predecessor is because that's who has the throne. Because it's clear then that his mother um we'll figure it out. You know what I'm saying? I don't know a lot of this shit, so we'll figure it out. But his name was George William Frederick. So his father was Frederick of Wales, right? And he was the oldest son of King George II. So King George II was actually King George III's grandfather. So this is the man, right, that they're telling us about. This was his father. So we can confirm that this is correct. So reading about the description of King George III, right? Oh, come on, man. What the fuck? Did I go back? I went back to when you click it, it'll go to. we're not gonna worry about none of this shit right here. We're gonna get to that. We're gonna get to whatever's going on there. We just want to deal with what we know that doesn't make sense, right? Because we know that they cover a lot of shit up. We know a lot of shit don't make sense. So we'll deal with the white images and things like that when we get there. You know, we'll do a deep dive and analysis on who's what and why, what evidence we do have and don't have, and what represents what. We just want to be objective. But look, so he had prominent blue eyes, long nose, thick lips, right? He had the blue eyes, long nose, and thick lips of the earlier Georges, but he was tall and well built. Whereas his father Frederick, Prince of Wales, son of King George the First, or son of King George the Second, sorry, where we got some shit on King George the Second too. Whereas his father Frederick, with dark complexion, was almost Moorish in appearance. Frederick had a dark complexion, so dark. Oh, he was just a dark tan. No, with his dark complexion, was almost Moorish in appearance. Right? It says, whereas his father, Frederick, with dark complexion, was almost Moorish in appearance. And we know what the fuck Moorish is, but we'll go and get that, right? We know what Moorish is. We know what a Moor is. So he was dark as a Moor. Moor was almost Moorish in appearance. He looked as dark as a Moor, right? That was Frederick the First, or Frederick, Prince Frederick. George had a fair skin and high coloring. Also, at this age, the king's manner was gracious in contrast to that of his ill-tempered grandfather, and he possibly owed these good manners to Frederick. Okay, so we know Frederick was dark-skinned like a Moor, and we know his father had fair skin and high coloring. So we're going to get into those terms, but we know that this nigga's dad was black as a Moor. He was Moorish in appearance. Moorish meaning like a Moor. He was dark complexion, dark skin like a Moor. So not to mention to go all the other shit we got and coming soon, but that's just crazy. And I only got this rental for however many minutes long, so I had to make the video to explain and capture the experience of me finding this and it being like this. So I'm gonna use this evidence and further explorations, and yeah. So we have other works that show King George was ready, right? We know he was ready, right? We know he was ready, large nose, thick lipped, and ready. And it told us all of them was like that. But it tells you he was more ruddy. He was light skinned. You know what I'm saying? But we know how do we know that by ruddy they mean light skinned, and not white with red cheeks? Well, we know this nigga's dad was black as a Moor. So why the fuck would he be white with red cheeks? You know what I'm saying? That's just how you add these things together. We take different sources. So you got one, two, three, and I've seen all these sources, you know what I'm saying? Because I've been watching this video over the past few days. So um we're gonna go, but it's not about taking my word for it, right? Because that's not our process. That's not the process we want to use, right? Even if that is our process, that process ain't gonna cut it, right? For explaining these things necessarily, right? It's not gonna leave um things clear without a shadow of doubt. You know what I'm saying? So what we want to do is go into every individual source and find it in the actual book and and correlate it with the rest of the information and the rest of the actual sources we have. And we're going to compile a big long list of evidence or empirical data going towards our perspective and our purport, the things we purport in our claims. So that is me finding that George III had a father that was black as a Moor, dark as a Moor, ruddy. So we're not gonna make no assumptions. You just leave it what it is, and we'll make more points. But find it interesting that I had to rent one copy of this book, and all of a sudden I only got 11 minutes left with it, and I wonder why. Interesting. Interesting. Let me go run and show my mom this shit. And if I don't got time, I'm gonna show her this shit. They gotta stop fucking my audio settings up too. I want that high fidelity shit. Why is my high fidelity not on by default?